But if you're feeling anxious, instead of focusing on calm, can you focus on trust? And when it comes to trust, I want you to ask yourself a few of these questions. What would it feel like to trust? Like, what would that feel like in your body to have that trust? Or if you knew what you wanted to know, what would that feel like? Like if I knew exactly when she was going to arrive Earthside, what would that feel like? And just tune into that energy. Like, what would you do? How would you feel? How would you act? How would you be? What would your energy be like if you knew? Or if you had that trust? And just feel into that. Like, just open the doors of possibilities to those feelings. I feel like that's a really powerful practice because a lot of times we don't even think to go there. Like, what would it feel like to know? What would it feel like to have that trust that things are going to work out no matter what? Welcome to Alignment Adventures. This is a podcast where we explore what it means to live a fulfilling, aligning, and present life. I'm your host, Lindsay Tanner, and I am so grateful that you are here. Hello, my loves, and welcome back to Alignment Adventures. I really didn't think I'd be recording another podcast while I am pregnant, but here we are. You just never know what's going to flow. And that's the beauty of life, as I am reminding myself right now. And I'm just coming to you in real time with a real processing of things going on in my life. And I know this is a theme that so many people can relate to. And that is trust. Trusting yourself and your body and the universe and the timing of life when there's so much uncertainty. So let's dive into that today. I'm currently 40 weeks pregnant today. Like, today is my due date, which is such an arbitrary thing anyways, because it's totally a guess, especially in my case, because I went straight from a pregnancy loss into pregnancy. So it really was a guess. But there's just so many mind stories wrapped up in our due dates and how far along you go. And this is totally a rabbit hole we could go into. I talk a lot more about on my YouTube channel, but just the culture we have around birth right now and inductions, that is such a thing that is talked about way before even your due date. And yeah, there's just a lot of pressure we can put on ourselves and our bodies and our babies to do something that it can do completely naturally. And I do want to say, disclaimer, thank goodness we do have interventions because some people really need them. But I'm trying to do this thing as naturally as I can. I want my body to go into labor when it's ready. As hard as that is for my mind, it is very hard for my mind because I kind of messed myself up here. I was in the mindset that she was going to come early because her brother came early, and already she is so different from her brother in terms of movement and just energy that I feel. And now not coming early and potentially probably coming later than her due date. Totally different than my experience with Arlo, which is okay. And obviously she needs more time. That trust in my body that it knows what to do. I keep telling myself this, it has grown a baby from scratch. Of course, it's going to know when she needs to get here and how to get her here, how to get her out. That intelligence doesn't just stop. It knows exactly when she needs to be born and when she's ready. And me putting pressure on that and rushing it when I think about it, even though my mind is so ready, my mind is so ready for her to be here and to meet her. And I just feel like I've been waiting forever. I'm sure so many mothers can relate that have been in this position, especially if you've had hard times before your pregnancy. You feel like you've just been waiting for this moment forever. That's truly how I feel. But I'm just trying to lean into that trust in my body and that trust that she knows exactly when to be born. And that's not easy. That is not easy for the mind. The mind hates uncertainty. We've talked about this so many times. And this reminds me of a quote that I saw, I think on Pinterest. But when I saw it, my mind was blown. I was like, this is so true. I think it said something along the lines of the opposite of anxiety isn't calm. The opposite of anxiety is trust. And I was like, whoa, that is so freaking true. Because obviously when people tell you to just like calm down when you're anxious, that does the opposite, right? And like, what is the remedy, the antidote to anxiety? It's trust. It's trusting that things will happen exactly the way they're meant to. And I do have that trust. My mind just like gets in the way, just like everyone else's minds. It's totally normal. And that's just the space I've been in these past few weeks. Again, because I thought she was going to come early. I've also been having contractions off and on, like some pretty intense ones that I was like, whoa, like this may be it. And I don't know if it was false labor, they call it, or prodromal labor. I don't know the name. Or just really early signs of labor. It's probably just my body getting ready, but definitely messes with the mind. So what I'm doing in this season is just trying to be kind to myself. Like, it's totally valid that I feel anxious. Like, I woke up this morning feeling so anxious for a multitude of things. Like, even though it's just now her due date, like today is just now her due date. And I've been like worrying about inductions and like, is she moving enough? And I'm just ready to have her out so I can look at her and like make sure she's okay, you know? Those are all valid worries, very valid. And I'm just trying to be kind to myself and tune back into that energy of trust. So this can be a theme at any point in your life. This does not have to be pregnancy, even though pregnancy definitely puts a magnifying glass on this. Throughout the whole pregnancy, I've had to have this mentality of like, I trust my body. I trust my body to grow this baby. And it has. It's done everything it needs to up until this point. So to think that it wouldn't continue to do that, it's just silly. Not silly, but there's no evidence to show that I can't trust my body. And I think that's honestly the best energy I can be in right now, is that trusting energy. And I know my future self will come back and look at me now and be like, girl, enjoy this time. Like, it is no secret that it's easier to take care of a baby when it's inside your body rather than outside, right? You have to change your diapers, feeding, all of that. I know that's going to be chaotic, even though I'm so excited to finally meet her. But I know my future self will come back and be like, Lindsay, just chill and enjoy this time. So I've been trying to remind myself of that while also being extremely kind and compassionate to myself. And honestly, sitting down and just talking about this with all of you is so cathartic and therapeutic. So I hope it's helping all of you as much as it is helping me. Again, relate this to anything in your life. Like, the unknown is terrifying to the mind. It makes sense. But instead of trying to tune into like calm energy, if you're feeling anxious, because like that is such a common feeling for us to feel. So many people have anxiety throughout the day and throughout their lives, maybe like on a more chronic scale or a smaller scale. But if you're feeling anxious, instead of focusing on calm, can you focus on trust? And when it comes to trust, I want you to ask yourself a few of these questions. What would it feel like to trust? Like, what would that feel like in your body to have that trust? Or if you knew what you wanted to know, what would that feel like? Like, if I knew exactly when she was going to arrive Earthside, what would that feel like? And just tune into that energy. Like, what would you do? How would you feel? How would you act? How would you be? What would your energy be like if you knew, or if you had that trust? And just feel into that. Like, just open the doors of possibilities to those feelings. I feel like that's a really powerful practice, because a lot of times we don't even like think to go there. Like, what would it feel like to know? What would it feel like to have that trust that things are going to work out no matter what? And I know that, like, no matter what, she's gonna be here at some point. Like, I saw this TikTok and it was like, stop acting like birth is like this pop quiz you're gonna miss. Like, it's going to happen at some point. You know, a lot of times it happens in ways that we don't expect. And I'm trying to remain open, because I know that's another thing I can put pressure on, is having this birth that I'm envisioning. So I'm trying to balance like putting those intentions out there while also remaining open. But it's going to work out exactly the way it needs to. And I just got to breathe, release, and remember that. I just did a meditation that I recorded like over 3 years ago when I was pregnant with Arlo called Navigating Uncertainty. I will link it below in case you're interested, because it can apply to anything in your life. I talk about being pregnant, but just like the themes of trusting yourself and being kind to yourself are so important when it comes to this topic of trust. And after I did it, I felt so much better. So I promised myself that I'm going to do that every day until she comes. There's also a yoga flow that goes with it, so I'm going to do that as well. It's like these simple practices that I know that I still sometimes don't take the time to do, which is insanity because I know they're going to help. And another gift of this season is Arlo is in preschool, so he goes to preschool like 3 hours a few days a week. So that's been giving me more time to record podcasts like this or videos for my YouTube channel. And I kind of stopped that for a while because, again, I thought she was going to come any day and I didn't want to be like in the middle of a project. But I'm like, you know what? I think the best mentality to have right now is to just keep on living life like I would normally live it. And it's a balance between validating yourself and validating your feelings and also distracting yourself. Like, a few weeks ago, I decorated for Halloween and fall, which made me so happy and was such a beautiful distraction. You can see I have this pumpkin spice candle that seriously smells like a drug. It smells so good. Or does it smell like a drug? But it feels like a drug when I smell it. It smells so intoxicating. I have my tea in this cute pumpkin mug right here, my pregnancy tea. So just trying to lean into those cozy, comforting things. It's officially cozy season. We're in the burrs, which is my favorite time of year: September, October, November, December. So just leaning into all those vibes and leaning into things that feel good. Like I talk about in every single episode, that alignment list, right? It's just like interesting how we can forget the simple things when you get into that like chaotic mindset of just like worry, anxious. You forget all the simple things that bring you back to the present moment. And I just want to end this pregnancy because this could potentially be my last pregnancy. I don't know. I'm not thinking that far ahead in the future, but potentially could be. When I think about it that way, I want to end this pregnancy the most aligning way that I can and enjoy these last few moments of being pregnant, even though I am kind of over it. It could be a lot worse physically. I could feel so much worse physically, and I have so much gratitude for that. Like, yes, there are times where I feel uncomfortable. Yes, there are moments every morning where I just do not feel good. I feel sick every morning almost, but it could be a lot worse. And I do want to enjoy these last moments of being pregnant. I, again, know my future self will come back and look at this and be like, enjoy it, Lindsay. Enjoy this beautiful stage of life. And again, having so much compassion with myself because this is a huge event. I don't know any other bigger event that has happened to me other than having Arlo. And I'm about to do that again. Bring new life into this world. So it is a massive life change. So it makes sense that the mind is going crazy because it just wants to know. And yeah, I just feel like it's kind of rare too for people to experience spontaneous labor. Like a lot of times people know when they're going to have their baby, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. And thank goodness people have those interventions if they need it. But like just waiting around for the baby to show up is not the norm anymore. Like everyone is on edge around here. Like my parents, Steven's parents, the family, totally understandable. I would be the exact same way. If I were my friend, I would be texting me every day, be like, how are you feeling? And did you have your baby? Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm so grateful that everyone's so excited. Like, that makes me excited too. And also I'm trying to just like block out some external noise and go within and focus on what I need to nourish myself in this season so I can bring this baby in the most aligning way that I can without the pressure, without the perfectionism, but just enjoy myself and release some of that anxiety and lean more into trust. So if you're feeling that way about anything in your life, can you release just a little bit of that anxiousness and lean more into trust, whether it's trust in your body, trust in the universe, trust in God, trust in your guides, trust in yourself, that things will work out exactly the way that they are supposed to. All right, I think that's all I have to say right now, and I have to go and pick up Arlo pretty soon. Oh, I'm going to do a card pull here in a second. But I just hope that this conversation brought you some peace, some contentment, some alignment, whatever you're needing. Who knows when it's going to come out? Maybe it'll come out before she gets here. It is the full moon this weekend, which is connected to her name. So I truly feel like she's holding out for the full moon. We will see, TBD. I will update you guys on all things birth and all that next time that I'm on here. But I just appreciate you all so much. Let me get my cards before I forget to do the card pull. All right, I've got the same deck that I've been using. Just going to shuffle them and put out the intention for everyone. But this is a message we all need to hear. This is a good one. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner realm. So I will put up a picture. Very true in this season. Very true. I am just feeling a lot of like chaotic, anxious energy right now. And again, that's because I have a lot of chaotic, anxious energy, which again is totally valid. But that's something I can control. I can't control when she comes. I can't control labor. I can't control how everyone else acts, but I can control myself and my energy and my vibration. Always, always, always. So what a beautiful, beautiful reminder. Definitely putting this up to remind myself. Again, thank you so much for being here with me today and just sharing this space and sharing this conversation. I just have so much fun recording these. And like I said, it's very cathartic for me to record these. So I just appreciate you being along this journey with me. None of us are alone. None of us are alone. As always, reach out with any comments you have or anything that you enjoyed over on Instagram at Lindsay with an A, M as in Michelle Tanner. Share this episode with anyone that you think needs to hear this specific message. And I'm just sending you all so much love, so much trust. One of my core beliefs, even though I forget it all the time, is that things are always working out for my highest good. I know that. And that these situations are here to expand me. That's how I look at life. Like these hard times or anxious times are here to help me grow and expand me. And isn't that such a beautiful thing? So sending you all so much love, all the highest vibes. And of course, I will see you in the next episode of Alignment Adventures.